One? Have your ticket? You don't have one? No problem. Just hit the subscription button below and come on in. Hey guys, DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, I don't know if you heard the latest, but Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, just was indicted today on, guess what? Soliciting prostitution. Not only soliciting prostitution, this was a 6-month sting, I might add, but they've got him on 2 occasions going to spas and soliciting sex from Oriental women who had come from the Orient, under the understanding that they were coming to work, not realizing that they were being sex trafficked into the United States for the purpose of sex. And I bring that to your attention, guys, because you've heard me talk about this time and time again about the sex trafficking industry. And the sex trafficking industry is not just adults, who are being pulled into these sex enclaves, without knowledge, but this also involves children as well. So when you hear sex trafficking, please remember, you're not just talking about adults who are being forced into sex slavery, but this also includes children as well. All right? And then you extrapolate that and you start looking at things such as what's going on again. And I know I'm going to piss some of you guys off, and I don't, I care that you get pissed off, but I don't care that you're pissed off. I'm not trying to piss you off, but if you get pissed off, deal with it. That's how I'm going to take that approach. My intent is not to incite animosity between you and me. I'm just being honest and being transparent about what I know to be a fact, okay? And this is the priesthood again. And you give an example, you've got Pope Francis with, I think Cardinal McCarrick, who retired about a year ago. And now he's deflocked by Pope Francis when he's 88 years old. That's when they decide to deflock him a year after he retires. Yet we hear about nuns pregnant. We hear about little boys and girls getting raped by nuns and priests, both. The industry you've heard me talk about before. The sex slave industry, guys, is a $150 billion industry. 150 billion. If it was in, let's just say, in the global business market, if we were just ranking who's the top, Walmart would be the #1 income, or Amazon would be if you look at the top 100, top 50, top 20 industries, sex traffic would be somewhere like #4, #5 at $150 billion a year. That's how serious this is. And again, this is not people who are volunteered. Robert Kraft did not go, down in Florida. This was Jupiter, Florida. So look it up for yourself. He didn't go down, to some brothel. He didn't go down, see someone standing on a street corner, soliciting prostitution. No, he was part of a sex trafficking prostitution ring. That's a big difference. These are people who were misled that they were coming to the United States for gainful employment, only to get here and realize that they were being forced into the sex slave industry without their permission. So again, I'm bringing this to your attention because Robert Kraft, think about this guy. He's talking about, this is a guy who's given $400 million to all kind of philanthropy organization, $400 billion. And you would look at somebody like that and say, man, this is an honorable guy. This is a hardworking guy. This guy is a guy of the highest level of integrity. Yet, behind the curtains, you know what I'm saying? Like the Clintons, like the Obamas, like the Dorsowitz, Epstein, like the Weinsteins, all of these people working collectively, guys, are doing this stuff. Pizzagate. Go look up Pizzagate. Go look it up and find out what Pizzagate is all about. Pizzas and hot dogs. The Clintons, the Obamas, now the Krafts. and others involved in soliciting sex with little children. Not soliciting sex. Bringing in children across the borders and from other places around the world, and using them for sex. And some things even worse than sex, guys. And I won't get into that. Then you got the priesthood that's involved with it, the Catholic Church that's involved with it, the Protestant Church that's involved with it. And it goes on and on and on. And yet, whenever someone like myself bring it up, you always get that little group over there to say, y'all just conspiracy theory, y'all just talking. Well, ain't no damn conspiracy if they're conspiring to do it. And I would say to all of you guys out there, and I've said it to you before, if you have, young people in your family, and that young people, they could go up to, I don't know if you have children up to 30, 40 years old, especially if they're attractive men and women, or as young as 1 and 2 years old. I'm telling you guys, you need to make sure that they are understanding the importance of not being alone in places where they are strangers. You need to make sure that they understand the importance of, have these prepared to protect and defend themselves. You need to have some kind of system in place or codes in place so that if something happens, you know what that signal is and you know how to get to them. And the best thing is preventive measures. And the number one preventive measure here, the number one, and I love you guys, and if I sound preachy, give me a pass today, okay? Because I'm passionate about this, and if you followed my previous videos, you know I am. The number one prevention here, guys, I'm saying to you, is awareness. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it for no reason at all. Don't wait for something like Robert Kraft to get caught in sex trafficking, okay? Don't wait for that, or at least participating in it. Talk about it just like you talk about, what you're having for dinner. Talk about it like you're talking about, I wonder what the weather's going to be today so I can understand how I want to dress. Talk about it in terms of, where we're going on vacation. Our next vacation. It needs to be that common, that frequent. Okay, that's the number one. And all the other things, as you would already know, common sense approach to things. Again, not being alone. Self-defense. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you know where your children are at all times. Women. All women. Be careful. Look both ways. Look around. Know who's company you're in. Don't put yourself in compromising situations. Especially if you're in the university environment. Or the nightclub or the clubbing environment. Don't let people buy drinks for you. I know that's going to be, look. Let me say it the right way. Don't let strangers buy drinks for you. Okay? Because you don't know what they're putting in these drinks. And again, have a moderation of what you're drinking. Because you don't want to get so intoxicated that you end up getting talked outside and end up disappearing and nobody knows what happened to you. These are the things we should be talking about. And again, this is not exclusive to women. Because men are sex traded too. Believe it or not. They most certainly are. And little boys are as valuable in that market as little girls are. So if you have small children at home, you need to start talking about this when they're 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. Explain to them the dangers of interacting with strangers, the danger of making sure that if somebody's doing something, touching them in any kind of way. Ask those questions. Hey, Johnny, how was school today? Good. Did anybody touch you in a strange way today, Johnny? Huh? Did anybody kiss on you today, Johnny? Did anybody hold your hand, Johnny, and you didn't want them to? Did anybody rub on your... I can go on and on and on. I wasn't going to say private, but any kind of way. You got to ask. You got to talk about it. And you got to keep the awareness up, guys. Because these wicked demons are never going to stop, guys. They're not going to stop. And they're ruining the young people, especially the little children. A child goes through something like that, guys, they may never recover from that. And that's our responsibility as the mature adults to protect them, to informing them, to putting up, defense mechanisms to make, and then also to aggressively. And don't, I know some of you guys who are Patriots fans are going to want to give Robert Kraft a pass. I would not give his ass a pass at all. Yeah, you're a Patriot fan. You're glad they won the Super Bowl. But this ain't about no football. This is about nefarious behavior. Some Asian family across the ocean has a daughter that's being molested by men like Robert Kraft, and they have no idea this is going on. And that very well could be your child. That's the way you have to approach this. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. DFG. Talk to you soon. Share this video, guys. This is important stuff. Bye now.